Now, since we have seen all of the problems and solutions regarding blockchain being turned from a traditional bank to a decentralized ledger, we'll recap the process in this particular section. Let's do a quick recap of the process, what happens. Okay. So the first is requesting transaction by signing digitally. So if I am a node, I want to, let's say, send Raghu sent John $5, right? That transaction I will sign digitally using my private key, right? So the digital signature is formed and send it to the network. This process is called as broadcasting. Okay, I will broadcast this to the network, right? Then the transactions, as we saw, enters into the transaction pool of the let's say the nodes, right? Every node will have a transaction pool, and then there are a few volunteers. In this case, we call them miners. Remember, these volunteers are called as miners. Okay, out of, let's say, 10,000 nodes. Okay, let's say about 200 nodes will say, hey, I want to be a volunteer or the miner because I want that reward. That money you're giving me, I want the reward. So for the rewards, they want to be volunteers. Okay. Now what they will do, they will pick the transactions from the transaction pool, okay, and they will run for that 5 kilometers. They'll do that work we are asking them to do. Okay, we still haven't seen what is the work that a blockchain miner does, but we will get into it. Before that, be sure that they will do some work as the penalty. Why? Because they have something to lose if they don't give the right block. Okay, fine. So they will validate the transaction and create the block, right? Once they create the block, do the work, and then submit the block to the network, right? Hey, if let's say out of 200, only one person can come first, right? Only one miner will create the block first. So he will send that block to the entire network, right? Saying, hey, I found the block, I am the first person and everything. Okay. So that he will send. Once he sends the block and all the nodes receive the blocks, they will immediately validate the transactions and the block and then add it to their blockchain, right? Once all the nodes found that it's a valid block, then the miner, whoever came first, right, he will receive the reward. He will receive monetary reward for whatever work he has done, right? And that's how a transaction gets into the blockchain. Once it gets into the blockchain, your transaction is complete and successful. That's how it works. Okay, so this is the recap of the process. You also probably go through this again, right? And if you are not able to get this, then do a recap 2-3 times to understand what is the problem, what is the solution, what is the problem, what is the solution, slowly, so that you can understand. Also, you can use the Q&A section to ask me any doubts that you have on this process, right? But this process is very, very important for you to understand what all components are there in the blockchain and how it is all connected to each other, right? Hope this was helpful. We'll get into the next portion to do a demo and understand how this works in the blockchain world.